Welcome to the CFG GameCast, episode number 68, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode on Saturdays and release it on podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, and more. So show us some love. Give us a follow, a like, a comment, what have you on any of our podcast services, or go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davis Green, and with me today are two awesome co-hosts of mine. I got the five-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty on the third seat. What's going on, my dude?
Chilling, my friend. I am so embarrassed, and let me tell you real quick, because so I totally talked trash to Davis, and we've had this ongoing thing about beating Metal Gear Solid 5 before the PS5 comes out. Little did I know how far behind I really was, because I finished, I beat like this boss fight. Credits started rolling. I was like, yes, dude. I was like, I think I beat the game. I hit him up. I was like, yo, dude, I finished it, man. Like, and I let the credits roll as I'm talking trash. It gets to the end, and all of a sudden it's like, Chapter 2. And I'm just like, oh, it's taken me 6 years to get to Chapter 2? No.
The funny part of that,
it's not happening.
The funny part of all of that was that you messaged me like at 2 o'clock in the morning, and then you're like, I didn't see any of this until like the next day, and I was like, what's he so hyped up about? And then he's like, yeah, put that money in my hand and stuff like that, because we bet $100.
Little man.
We bet $100 to a charity that if he did not beat it at a certain time, and it's like literally 3 weeks until that deadline happens. This was at the beginning of the year. And so he's like, so he thought he beat it. He was so hyped up. Then like 5 minutes of silence. Then he comes back and he's like, oh man, I just beat Chapter 1. And I'm like, you're so hyped. Just like you accomplished. He's like, oh, congratulations. You just beat like maybe 15% of the game. And it's
I'm at 30%. I'm at 30%. I was like, oh, there must be like a lot of additional I was like, that's kind of a weird way for the game to end. And then no. So that was terrible. Other than that though, I mean, work has been super busy too, so like I haven't had a lot of time. Obviously, I'm still grinding Destiny 2 and playing that. That should be coming to its culmination here soon, with the season ending in about 30 days, and then Beyond Light being released here in November. I'm super stoked about that. I'm excited to see how they kind of cap off this season. Are they going to do another live event like they did for the Warmind? I'm hoping so, because I totally missed that, and I didn't even had I known there was going to be a live event for that at the end, I would have definitely invested more time in that season. I just didn't see the bigger story that was playing out and that happened.
I'm actually surprised, because I felt like you were actually keeping up with the stories in Destiny, from because there was multiple times where I see you've been playing Destiny for long periods of time, and you're saying that you still missed
something about the Warmind, like the Warmind, like that storyline. It doesn't pique my interest at all. I mean, and that started back in Destiny, and I've never really enjoyed the Warmind stuff. So I just kind of was like, I played it a little bit, and then I was just like, I'm good on this for a little bit. And then I saw that, and I was just like, no, why did I I should have followed along.
Found that one shiny gem in the midst of of mugginess, and it's like, oh no, man. That's terrible.
I mean, really, because for me, that's really what I want more out of Destiny. I want more story, and the story to be put together. I watched like this 4-hour video I was telling you about that literally laid out from the beginning to where we are now. It's by Biff on YouTube. And that was like a comprehensive, like, oh my gosh, there's this huge story and so much lore that's playing out that's hard to be translated in the actual gameplay and in the game. They use like these cards and things like that. Very, very little of it is cinematic. So I think it'd be cool to have more of that out of it. But yeah, no, that's enough about me, please. Our guest.
All right. Awesome. Like, yeah, the right. It's like, man, you're just hogging the time up, Smitty. Come on now. Anyways. Okay. I'd like to introduce to our special guest who is awesome variety streamer, a really cool gamer, and actually does starting to do some reviews over on our site. I'd like to welcome PopNoTarts to the CFG Gamecast. How are you doing, Pop?
I'm great. I've been I did some family stuff today. Went grocery shopping with my mom. Currently waiting for Watch Dogs Legion. I played some more of Watch Dogs 2 yesterday. I played it before, but right now I'm just like goofing off in the game because it's so much chaos you can cause.
Is Legion out yet? Or is that still like how much time do we have left on that? Or when is that coming out?
We have 19 days. October 29th. Yeah. You have 19 days. It's super close.
Oh man, that's gonna be fun. I already told you what my plan was. Like I want the old crew. I want the geriatrics to be. I would have like the 70-year-old people just causing mayhem and stuff.
I still want to be Spy Granny. Spy Granny with the spy car.
Spy Granny with the spy car, that'd be perfect actually. Oh my god, I just feel like, for some reasons from when you described to me about how this game is going to be like, this one clicked to me out of all the other two from the previous two. Like I don't know why I really am looking forward to this one more than any of the other ones, but the idea of it looks like it's going to be super fun. So
I didn't play I never played the second one. I played the first one. I enjoyed it. I think I have it because wasn't it free at some point in time, like on Epic or something like that?
Yeah,
I have it. Yeah. I was like, because I have it, so I was like, I definitely want to play Legion. I was like, just that whole concept is super cool, and just being able to literally beat anybody within the world and stuff. I was like, that's such a dope concept. So hopefully the execution on it is good. I'm definitely going to be checking it out.
Very nice. That's cool. All right, well that's awesome, man. And as for me though, I've just been hooked on playing Yakuza 0 and Genshin Impact. Those are the two things I've been playing this whole week though. Yakuza 0 though is just, man, that is just the character of the game. It's just so fun though. I love messing around with the with that stuff. It's so freaking awesome of like what you can do. And just these moves, like he basically kills people, and he just gets away with it in cold hard. Like I mean, it said, like the car, like if you use the car as a weapon, like you just opens the door. He basically does a curb stomp with the car essentially, and it's just very fun, very fun times. I just can't believe I put this on the back burner for so long. This game came out like what 4 or 5 years ago. It's ridiculous. So I missed out. And but now since it's not, now the secret is out, I'm going to be playing it more seriously. Definitely be messing around with some more of it. So that's pretty cool. But anyways, I know y'all don't want to talk about listen to me about my Yakuza troubles and fun. So let's just go to the normal rigmarole like we normally do every week. So each of us pick a topic of discussion within video games from the previous week. The topic would or could be about a specific game or something that came about the game, something that happened in the gaming industry itself. And we don't want to just talk about it amongst ourselves. We want you, the listeners or viewers over on Twitch that are with us live, to be a part of the conversation. So if there's something that you're wanting to chime in about on what we talk about, by all means, just put it inside the chat. We would love to talk about it with you, with everybody in chat, and put it a part of the podcast itself. So let's get down to it. Let's start with our guest Pop on what is your topic or discussion you'd like to bring up.
So I had the pleasure of playing season 2 of Fall Guys yesterday with a friend of mine, and I have so many mixed feelings about it. Like,
really?
I'd mainly want to say that Fall Guys has this new, what I call the Battle Royale syndrome. It comes out with a new season. It has a season pass or a battle pass with a couple of cool items. And then you have the rehashed maps from the previous season. So with season 2, we're supposed to get 4 new maps. I only played on Night Fever. There are 3 other maps that are supposed to have: Wall Guys, Egg Siege, and Hoopsie Legends. But The other 3 maps that I didn't get to play on are actually rehashed medieval versions of the season 1 maps. I had the pleasure of playing on Night Fever, and that map was so ridiculous. Like, there was the spinning wheel with the spikes on it. I almost made it through the first time in first place, but like 20 people ran straight in behind me, and I fell off the first time. I still qualified, but I was just doing my own thing, and I was just like, okay, I see the path, I'm gonna go, and then like 30 people like died behind me and cut me off. The music is good, even if you do play on a season 1 map, which was kind of strange to me. Like, you started off on a season 2 map, and then like the rest of the games are all season 1 stuff. Like, they don't even have a final game or final round based on season 2's theme, which is the medieval theme, which was, it was so weird. Like, starting off, I'm just like, okay, I see knights and gauntlets and all this other interesting stuff, and then it's Fall Mountain for the final round. I'm just like,
oh, for real?
I'm like, what time paradox am I in?
Oh, so they didn't even
I
like. So
yeah, I would think that they would at least make like the level specific. Jeez, I don't know why I had trouble saying that. Season 2 and something themed. You know what I mean? Not just the same old. That's really disappointing.
Yeah,
very disappointing.
I was really disappointed in it. Like, the music was different. I'm just like, I hear seasons 2 music, but I still feel like I'm stuck in season 1 at Fall Mountain.
Okay, so here's the question for you though, real quick, Pop. Then, so basically, are you saying like essentially the transition of what they have between season 1 and season 2, that it feels that they just more that it doesn't feel like season 2, but more like an add-on on season 1 because of they didn't change. Like, the big one that's like, I just cannot believe they didn't change the final map. That's what's really disappointing on that. And there's no really special. Yeah, so it's more like a half step rather than a full step in your eyes.
Yeah, but the season pass and in the store they have ID names now, so you can change your card. I was fortunately able to buy a nickname in the store called "Stay Away" because people like to grab. I play on PS4, so people like to grab. So the name cards are interesting, but getting to the final map and seeing Fall Mountain, I was really disappointed in that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is kind of, that really does kind of suck. I mean, so like, that especially the one thing I really kind of got annoyed by this is not really annoyed, but more like their hype about the season 2, about season 2 was coming was a while. Like, this was literally when Fall Guys is not even that old of a game. I mean, it came out like maybe at the late July, and then remember it was the free game of the month in August for PSN members, and it just caught fire at that point. And then now they because I feel like they kind of scurried on season 2. Like, I don't think they underestimated the early success that it had. And then all of a sudden, and then when they were saying, okay, we need to move to season 2, the level of pressure that they put on this game to do the next for the next step, so people didn't get bored out of this, was I think was a little too high. That they kind of I feel like they kind of rushed it too fast for this to be a full season or a true season. I mean, because like I myself haven't played this game until like maybe since September. It's been a bit. It's because there's just so many, like, you know, small games that have just been good to just be playing with people and stuff. But I'm gonna definitely try. I will definitely not try to play this, and I'm probably gonna play this on in our extra life here in November. So with some guests, I don't know, some super flies in my way. But yeah. So what did y'all? But I mean, what do you think, Smitty?
Dude, you know how I feel too, and I said this. You know, especially a game like this. This is really, it's important for them to execute well when they are doing updates or if they're doing season stuff, and for it to feel fully fleshed. Like you're saying, there's a ton of games, really good games that have come out that are co-op or you can bring people in. So that space is opening up, you know, very, very rapidly. And kind of like you, I haven't played this probably in a month because now I'm on game, you know, Among Us and Phasmophobia, you know what I mean? Like, those games are a ton of fun. Yeah, this is just disappointing to see. I feel like they're definitely, I mean, they definitely need to, especially moving forward for future updates. Hopefully they look to bring more into it and actually give people, and another important thing too that's going to be moving forward is how are they going to listen and respond to what fans are saying and people that enjoy this game. I think that is going to be the big determining factor as to whether, you know what I mean, people are like, all right, man, like, you know, I'm going to stick with this, or if it ends up just fizzling out and being that, oh yeah, remember that one time where that game with the beans was, you know, super popular for a couple of months and then it just kind of faded away. You know, this could be a big turning point for them. We'll see how it plays out. Yeah, but I'll try it out. I mean, you know, again, I mean, the game was fun. But yeah, I haven't had like any kind of like really big driving force to be like, I'm going to go play this. I need to get this in. You know what I mean? It's like, I'll get it in if it is. But like, there's other games that I can play with more of my friends, you know, as opposed to this being locked into just for, you know, 3 of your friends and yourself. That's one big thing I think that they should have focused on there. Private lobbies, bigger parties. You know what I mean? Let me play with more of my friends, or let me build out a thing where, you know what I mean, I can invite a bunch of my friends in and we kind of build or customize what it looks like. You know what I mean? Like those are things that I feel like that they should have really, you know, moving forward and moving into season 2, that they could have introduced as a caveat to, hey, also, you know what I mean? We've got these great new things, but look what we did on the back end for you guys. We're listening. We want you guys to play. So we'll see.
I do have a question for you, Pop, since you're the only person that really played this between the two of us. Did they at least remove any of the maps from the previous season, and so they can kind of encourage people to check out the newer maps? No.
Nope. There's actually a secondary mode called Gauntlet Showdown. They actually have limited time modes now. I forgot to add that to my Battle Royale syndrome list. So they have limited time modes, and Gauntlet Showdown is literally just every single season 1 map back to back. And you get, of course, the final round being a season 1 map. So not only do you get a final round map from season 1 in the main version of the game, but you also get it in Gauntlet Showdown, which I was so confused about the title because I assumed it was going to be something related to season 2, but my friend and I, we played through it twice, and I was like, can we just play Genshin Impact? I'm so tired of this game. I'm so tired of it.
Oh no! So you're disappointed. Okay, so man, that's not good. But I mean, I'm gonna try it out at least. I gotta try it out at least to see what to expect. But man, that's not good.
It's disappointing. It's disappointing. You know what I mean? I feel like they came out strong, and you know, they've kind of, I feel like they've faded away a little bit. And, you know, this does not help that at all. You know, you would think that going into a new season and there was all kinds of hype, you know, this would be a booster going into the fourth quarter and whatnot. And I don't know, this isn't it, it sounds like. I'll try it out for myself, though.
But here's the most annoying thing, because it's just really, I hate when they do half steps. That's just one of the things, because like their biggest emphasis, like for instance, let's say Among Us. Let's say Among Us decided to say, hey, we're pushing a season 2 of whatever they're doing in Among Us. But then the biggest issue the Among Us players have is servers. And then they don't work on any of that. And then they're like saying, we're going to just add a new map. We're going to do all these different kinds of things. And then, but yet they don't fix the underlying issue of doing that. If that's the case, then it's like that. I mean, then people will be upset about it, because it's like, come on, man, really? So, I mean, that's exactly what Fall Guys was. It's just that Fall Guys now, we're 2 months in. Now people know the maps at this point. Like, why there's no reason why they shouldn't feel that they could get away with removing some of the old maps and just saying season 2. Like, I mean, Fortnite, like a good example of that is Fortnite. Fortnite doesn't use the same maps than what it was like a year or two ago, because they make new maps because they want to keep it fresh. I mean, this game needs to do that, because this game is basically like a level by level stage on a randomizer. So you have to do this kind of thing to keep the interest up. So let's hope that people's feedback is, I think we kind of may want to say something about that, but like keep the interest about like what they're doing, because that's a little unfortunate. I mean, because the new skins look pretty cool. Don't get me wrong, and some of these maps look pretty fun, but then some of them are like, yeah, I really wish bad things to be done on this stage, but still, but like the spike stage, but like overall, I just think that it's a little weird, you know. Well, yeah,
again too, man, like with the current situation as well, like you got to, this is gonna get, I feel like it's gonna get stale quick, you know what I mean, especially the fact that there's not that many new levels, and you know, it's basically, it's just, yeah, I don't know, man, like I don't know, I expected a little more from this, I guess, and especially on the back end, and you know, kind of looking at that and kind of including that into this. So this just seems to be like really just like a cosmetic, and here's a couple new reskinned levels or whatever.
Well,
you know what I mean?
When I was talking to the PR for them with Fall Guys like about a month ago, because I wanted to reach out to them for interview when they were hot, they were like treating it as if like season 2 was going to be like, oh, everyone's focused on season 2 and everyone's focused on doing all this different kinds of things on it, and I was thinking like, oh, okay, so season 2 must be a big deal. But then when you come out and there's like saying, oh, the 4 new maps, 4 new stages, not saying 4 new stages isn't a lot. It is a lot, theoretically. If you change the rotation correctly, that's a lot of stages. And then, but then you keep the same final stage. It's like, okay, I mean, it doesn't seem like you really kind of did a lot, you know, on the exit when it comes to expectations, you know. So that's just seems kind of funny. It's kind of funny to me, but man, but I will take your word for it, Pop, because that's very cool. But then I will definitely going to have to try it out myself if I get lucky enough. Because even, you know, there's some stages I still haven't come across in season 1, like in that game. So,
Same.
There's like some of the stages, like the memorization stage, you know, like, you know, the platform where it says like banana and all that different kinds of things. I never did that stage. I've never done the soccer stage or the grab your tail stage and stuff like that.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I haven't done any of that.
I've done both of those.
All of them, but I'm wondering if it's still time based, because I know in the evening you would just get the same maps over and over again. Daytime you might get a different set.
I didn't know.
Morning would be, yeah. I know they were the randomization was time based for a while, which I hope they change that eventually.
Oh yeah, I think well, definitely. Well, I think that's a horrible way of doing things in general. If it's time locked, that's kind of weird, from the most part. But yeah, but that's cool. But that's cool though. That's good. That was a good topic. Awesome. Thanks for bringing that, Pop. Appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Okay, I didn't tell who was next, but I'll go next on this, Smitty. So my topic is going to be about the PlayStation 5, and there was a lot of different kinds of information that came out this week from the PS5. Earlier, they actually did a giant deconstruction of the, like, I don't know, PlayStation's been making some interesting moves as of late. Like I know Smitty and I have criticized it year round of like they've been doing horrible on their, like, you know, information of the PS5 of the next gen, and I still agree to that. They've been very hush on a lot of different things, and the big thing though for me is that they but then this time, like, I've never seen them do this. They deconstructed their system on a video of like what is the insides of their system. Sony has never done that on any of their products because they don't want you to open, because they discourage anyone to open up their stuff. They even broke the seals that tell you not to break the seals, which is like, what the hell's going on, man? But it was free. No, but it was very, very informative. Like, they let you know that the plates, the side plates that they have are removable and detachable. So that means that there's possible customization you could do on that in your distant future on that. But like the giant rotary fan that's on the top side, like of of the system. But the most important thing that I think that was shown in this video is that there's an expansion slot for your hard drive that uses an M.2 hard drive. So that means that there is definitely going to be like, you know, different kinds of possibilities to change and to grow the size of it and have that crazy PS5 speed that they're saying that the SSD that they're bragging about, you know. So I'm definitely was definitely hyped on that and how it looks like that stand comes with it too. So that's just as good too. And I was actually kind of surprised on the size of this thing because this thing is bigger than it looked. So yeah. Yeah, so like the deconstruction alone was very cool, very good for them to show off the system itself. But then there also had some other information that they brought in too. Like they finally talked about backwards compatibility. And the way they posted it was what I was expecting them to post it, just a random Q&A that they decided to put on their PlayStation blog. And so obviously it's not an important part into their plans for the system. But basically it says it can play 99% of the backlog catalog of the PS4, which is fine. There's certain games, there's 10 games that it will not play on the next gen system, which those games are actually pretty, you know, too far are way far between. And I didn't even know this, but do you know the PS4 has 4,000 games on that system?
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, wow.
I was like, I had no idea. It didn't feel like it, but then again, when you think about it, like all the crappy games and the DLC game, and the download games and stuff like that they have out there, it's like, yeah, they essentially do. So now we know that the backwards compatibility will work on PS4. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be backwards compatible with the PS2 and PS3, which is sad, but yeah, at the same time, you know, the only thing I really am more upset about is the fact that if you have PSN games that you bought back in the PS3, you have no access to it because you have to have a PS3 to play those games, which doesn't make any lick of sense to me when they use the same PSN keys, like Scott Pilgrim, Simpsons. The Simpsons. I've always wanted to play The Simpsons again, but I can't. I got to play it on PS3. Yeah, X-Men, the X-Men multiplayer game and stuff like that. You can't do any of that. So finally the last the other thing is that they also said that they are revamping the PSN store to kind of convert to the next gen of the next gen system. So the next gen system, or the next gen version of the PSN store, is going to convert to it's going to focus 100% on PS5 and PS4. But so the PS3 content that is on that's on the store, or the PS Vita, will be storefront wise is going to be removed, but it's still going to be there. But the only way that you can access that stuff is you have to access it on your PS3 console or on your Vita console, your Vita handheld. So that's the only way. So they're going to clear out a lot of different stuff from that big time in itself. So I was like, wow, this is kind of crazy. So yeah, so they're making some moves, I will say. I don't know, some good, some really interesting. I think the big thing was that deconstruction that they were showing off on. They showed off on it this other thing, because I was surprised, because I was like, who would have thought the day that they would that a Sony of all places said, we're going to just deconstruct it, we're going to show everyone what's inside the guts of this behemoth of a console, and let people know about it, you know. So I just want to get y'all's thoughts about like what Sony did this week. What are y'all's thoughts?
Well, I think it's a smart move. They recognize too that their consumer base is a lot more tech savvy, and somebody's going to end up doing it anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of the approach, why don't we do it ourselves as opposed to letting somebody else do that? So they go produce this video, they let people know what exactly it is. Because, I mean, again, for the longest time, we've basically had zero information on what this console was going to be like. And all of a sudden now it's kind of been a rush of all this information right before it's coming out. So, like, we're really able to kind of dive deep in and start learning about it, even though we've already, you know, spent the money, whether, you know, if you've gotten it already or whatnot. It's just, I mean, it's, again, it's building that hype from a technical standpoint, and for people that are able to see, all right, man, like, I can at least see how this, you know, the construction of it and everything. And now it's just getting in our hands and actually physically playing it, seeing now all these technical things and the difference that we'll see from PS4 to PS5. It's gonna, I mean, I'm pumped. Like, I'm taking a day off just so I can, you know what I mean, so I can dig deep. I gotta dig deep. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's nice. It's nice getting these, the technical and the breakdown to actually physically see somebody break it down like that. It's like, oh, okay, cool. So, yeah.
That's cool. That's good. What about you, Pop? What do you think?
Yeah, my brother and I watched the video, and he was like, you can replace the solid state drive if you want to. And I was like, I might just go ahead and get an external one. Not that I don't trust myself with tech. It's just like seeing Sony take it apart. I'm just like, it doesn't feel right, even though like I've taken my PS4 apart before. I've taken the PS3 apart before, PS2, PS1.
I did this.
I just want this to
be. Why do you not feel like the 5?
Yeah. I just
5 is the one
that I don't open up at all.
You take your foot down, you're like, whoa. Like, not this time. Oh my god, that's funny. Well, I mean, like, in its defense though, it's an expandable spot. So I think how it looks like it's not that it's something that's separate, that you don't have to pull the original card out and then you or whatnot, and then you just put the other spot. There's just an M.2 slot that you have access to it right there, because if you get an expandable external hard drive, it defeats the purpose of having the speeds that they're flaunting about it. You're wanting to keep it in and just and just say, hey, we got access. We can still keep our speeds with an expandable slot for 2 gigs. Because I mean, if let's face it, I would have to go 2 gigs, 2 terabytes. If you do 2 terabytes worth of space, because 1 terabyte's nothing nowadays. So, but yeah, so like, I just think that, I mean, I think it's okay. You don't have to. Yeah, like, I had to tear down my PS3 so I could breathe, because I was just like, this thing was acting like a jet engine. I remember.
Yeah, I still have a PS3, dude, and it does, man. That thing runs so loud.
I don't even remember what mine looks like. My friend broke mine, and I was done. I was like, okay.
Oh, no.
It's like, yeah. So, but it was all good at that point. So, like, it was So I mean, I think that the game with the console like that. Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't want to do a lot to mess around with it. I am looking forward to seeing people's levels of customization on this, because if you could do what they're showing, what they're showing that you can do, then I'm looking forward to that. That fan looks huge, though. I mean, the cooling fan inside there was just gigantic. It's just insane. So, but no. What about like the PSN store? Did you care if they did stuff like that? You know? Oh yeah.
I mean, here's the thing about it, dude, and this is, you know, Sony has made it clear that, look, we're just not going to try to support stuff that we had in the past. We are looking to move forward. I think it's just too much for them as far as trying to go back and build it and build it into an infrastructure that works and makes sense within where they're going. I don't think they have much of a choice other than to just say, like, look, dude, we're abandoning it and we're just moving forward. I get it. It sucks.
They messed up. I mean, they messed up initially with the PSN. Originally, Like they crossed it, they mess because like remember the biggest issue with the PSN was you couldn't change your name. If you changed your name, like so for the longest of time, you weren't able to. You were stuck with the name that you came in there. Now you got to a point when you were 10 years old, you bought your PSN and your name was IE Boogers 69 or whatever. Just like is now you're now 20 or you're 20 something and then you're still playing. You're still that, you know. That kind of thing was so like I mean there was issues because of the way it was set up. It was how PSN was initially set up that's hurting it now, you know. So but I think that's the same issues why we can't do simple things like I was saying earlier, backwards compatibility on your digital content games that you got on the PSN store, like as opposed to what you could do with Xbox Live. And stuff. So yeah, I don't know, but you know, you're totally right.
And don't forget too that with this to be able to get the you have to it's a USB HDMI. Is it HDMI 3.1 2.1 2.1? Yeah, so I went ahead and picked one of those up. But I don't know if it works with a normal HDMI cable, or does it have to? It does. You just won't get the full.
Well, thing? See, I don't know what to expect. I don't know the whole thing on like what 2.1 and 2.0. I know that's more like a format of how your television will read it. There is a difference between HDMI versions, but the problem is with HDMI cables, all of them look the same. And there's no way of deciphering it unless you're specifically looking for 2.1. If your television can handle 2.1, then that means that you have nothing to worry about. Like, so 4K, all that stuff is going to be, you're good. But if you get a 2.1 cable and your television doesn't support it, I think you're also good. It's just not going to run at its best capacity. That's my understanding.
Let me ask, do you guys know, have they said anything about remote play?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They did. So they'll allow you to do remote play for PS4 and PS5. It will work the same exact way. Actually, technically, it's live now. From what Sony was saying. So if, I guess if anyone has a PS5, they could do remote play remote play. But yeah, so you should be good on that. Good. I didn't. Oh yeah, because that's how you stream PS.
That's how. Yeah, like I don't use a capture card. Like I could use a capture card, but I use it for cameras, or I use them for cameras. So it's like I just use remote play to, and not like that, not necessarily capture cards, because I did end up getting a Cam Link.
Cam Link, okay.
I totally did, yeah. Just because the other ones, like I would have weird little issues and stuff like that. I was like, dude, like I just don't want to deal with it anymore. I'm sick of it. Like, just I know this is going to work. So I got it. But yeah, I use remote play, or like even if I'm just like on my iPad, I can use remote play on my iPad and play literally while I'm working and stuff like that. It's fantastic. So yeah, remote play is legit. I like that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think like it's a very useful piece of equipment. Or because right now I actually sold my my streaming PC that I'm actually doing remote play now, and until I was planning on building a new PC, but because of the card shortages and the new processor upgrades, I'm going to have to wait till next month to get it. Yeah, so that's so now I chose the worst time to build a computer, essentially. Yeah, so there you go. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. I know we're all hyped for it. I know we're all PlayStation nerds here, I'm assuming. Are you do you naturally veer to Sony Pop?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sony, or it's either Sony or PC Master Race. That's how I usually pop around. Let's see what they say. Yeah, Hazbat Zero pretty much says a lot of right things here. Keep the Vita relevant, which is very true. I think the Vita has been one of the most underrated. Yeah, Vita is really one of the most underrated handhelds out there, I will say. Like it's way ahead of its time than the 3DS and all that stuff. So I definitely love it. They have a really good library of games too. So don't knock anyone knock the Vita. don't knock the Vita until you try it because it's really good. I think Metal Gear, they have the best Metal Gear Solid. So if you ever tried that, Smitty, I'll probably get to play that in 2025, knowing your time pace.
Wait. What Metal Gear was on the Vita?
I'm not gonna say Metal Gear. It's not Acid. I can't remember what it was called. Hold on, let me see what it was called. It's so good that I forgot what it was called.
I was like, I didn't know that there was one that was specific to the Vita, because I totally have a Vita. And I thought I had played all of them other than the one with Raiden. I was like, nah, I'm good.
No. So, what, Metal Gear Solid 2? Is that what you're saying you never played? Oh, that you didn't like? The one with Raiden, you said?
I did not play that one.
Metal Gear Solid 2? Come on, dude.
That wasn't Metal Gear. No. The one where Raiden was the protagonist.
Rising.
Yeah. That's the one.
Yeah.
I didn't play that one. Yeah, no, I played. Yeah.
Let me see, V exclusive. Let me see what it's called. I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's just so many different names. I'll figure it out. I'll let you know when I find
Snake
it.
Eater.
The Hazmat Zero also said still have my PS3 80 gig full backwards compatible PS3. Love that one. That was one of my favorite ones. I remember. Oh yeah, there was two different ones. There was a hardware backwards compatible, and there was a software backwards compatible. The software one wasn't able to play the full library of PlayStation backwards compatible games, but the hardware one could. But that thing was a boat. It was like a $600 system, but it was ridiculous. But it was that was the one I loved. I loved because I used to have that one too, because I think it was the Metal Gear Solid 3 bundle that had the hardware version, which was freaking awesome. I definitely love that one. But I don't have it anymore because my friend broke it. So, but that's cool. All right, Smitty, why don't you wrap it up for us? What are you bringing? What are you bringing to the table?
So I know I've been talking a lot about, surprisingly, because I'm totally a Sony fanboy, but I've been talking a lot about Microsoft here. I feel like they've been making a lot of moves just in the gaming space, and it has not stopped. They actually just recently GameStop partnered up with Microsoft to basically bundle up these Xbox sales. I'm going to drop the link here in chat. Immediately, basically, their shares skyrocket up 44%. But essentially, what this is about is, I'll break it down from the points here. Is that GameStop will begin selling an Xbox All Access bundle stores with an Xbox console and 2-year digital subscription at no upfront cost. This is actually a better deal than buying an Xbox outright and then paying for their Game Pass separately. If you bundle it together, this is no interest. They're offering payments and stuff like that. That payment system that they were talking about, you can do this now all at GameStop. Microsoft's basically going in with, in software wise, they're going to be basically connecting all the stores together using Microsoft Dynamics 365 Teams and Surface devices. So this is huge. At first I was like, I don't understand, because to me, in GameStop, we know that they've had their struggles. I definitely feel that everyone's kind of moving more towards that digital and cloud gaming space. I think there will always be an avenue for physical games, but I think we'll be seeing less and less of those brick and mortar stores. And if anything, they'll be either they're going to die off or they'll go to a digital format. This is GameStop will also upgrade its e-commerce site as part of the partnership as well. So again, to me, I don't know that I necessarily understand the move on Microsoft's part. As far as what they're doing and how it makes sense in the scheme of what they're doing exactly. Because I feel like they are definitely playing out a bigger plan that we have not, we can't see the whole picture yet. We're looking at a very macular section of a bigger picture. And I'm curious to see what their play is. I'm curious also to see what your guys' thoughts are as far as Microsoft basically, I feel like kind of prolonging GameStop's operations, I suppose.
I'm kind of like I feel like it's something that I don't think that Microsoft has, like Microsoft, it's low risk for Microsoft's eyes in my opinion. But I think they're recognizing that, especially since you're saying, you remember you've always been saying that Microsoft doesn't really care about the console war as much, but they do care that they just, as long as they want you to be a part of their ecosystem in the long run. So to do that is accessibility. So so in my opinion, like the move for them to do what they're doing right here to do a deal with a game store, I mean, because really GameStop is really the only like nationwide game store that the US has now, from the most part, that to do that reaches the accessibility with a low overhead cost. The only chance, especially if they're saying no upfront and doing things like that to entice people to do that, it's more like a win-win for GameStop themselves, because now more people, theoretically, with that kind of announcement, foot traffic is going to come inside their stores. More foot traffic is going to come inside their stores theoretically. So I think that it's a really good move. Maybe this move was like something that had to have been done on more on GameStop's side, because GameStop's the one that really needs it more than what Microsoft will do this. But it's going to be about accessibility. It's going to be about availability, and I think that for what they're wanting to do and what they're trying to do to bring that kind of stuff out to the consumer is they're doing the right moves on it. I mean, that's just my thought. What about you, Pop? What do you think?
I think Microsoft is trying to move towards being more consumer friendly, and by that I mean Sony has always done things in favor of consumers. For example, the exclusive games, they're always aimed towards the consumers, what their consumers want. And just now, with them showing us what the inside of the PS5 looks like, what you can look like, what you can do when you take it apart, because they know their fan base, they know their consumers, and I think Microsoft is trying to get into that a little bit more with them just buying Bethesda and now moving on to GameStop. I think now they're trying to market themselves to be more consumer friendly and getting to know who's buying their products versus just throwing stuff out there saying people are going to buy it anyway.
That's very true. But I mean, I guess the biggest thing, they're also giving people options, because it's like, I mean, you're asking a person to dish out $500 on their flagship console, and then at the same time, and it's Christmas time. And so so it's going to be Christmas time. So supply and demand on the consoles itself are going to be fairly scarce, especially it's the first year. And $500, they're asking for $500 off of the base, but then yet they're saying, hey, here's another alternative for you to do it. They've already have the other alternative, which was to pay the monthly plan, the $35 for 2 years, just like a cell phone plan, to do it. And now they give you a physical plan where you can physically go to a store to do the same kind of thing, essentially, you know? So I mean, like,
and it's interest free.
Yeah.
And it's interest free.
Yeah.
Like, how consumer friendly is that? Like, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, like, you can't really be any more consumer friendly right now, like, for a system, a game system, than what Microsoft is doing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I think they're making some really good strides on this. I mean, they're trying to, like, I mean, I don't think so. I think Sony's very stubborn, and Sony doesn't have to do any kind of change for it, really, because I mean, it shows off in the previous thing. Like, this is what they're doing. Same thing for Nintendo. I mean, Nintendo, I am pretty convinced that Nintendo, numerically wise, has outsold the Xbox One X. We can't really be certain for sure because Microsoft never reveals their numbers, unfortunately. So, but like, I think that the Switch itself has outsold on that system in a shorter period of time than what Microsoft is. Because I mean,
I believe it.
So there would be no surprise to me. Yeah. So like, no. So I mean, So I mean, I think they're making really good strides. I mean, GameStop needs this. GameStop really needs this, because I mean, they just recently closed another 100 stores a month ago. So hopefully it's still a slow bleed. I mean, and it's just because, like, I for one will never buy anything on GameStop again. But like but yeah, so I mean, I think it's a win-win. It's a real big win-win for them.
Yeah. And I do love that because I mean, again, too, that's one of the things that we know about Microsoft, right, and Xbox and all that is that I feel like they've had some rough patches with their consumers and their fans and stuff like that. So I really feel like they have focused now on shifting, opening up and broadening that consumer base by creating a world where you can basically play on anything, anywhere, anyhow, and they are hitting it hard. They are making the moves and they are building things up, dude. Like I really am like I'm loving seeing what they're doing because you know, as a company, it's like, you know, that to see that vision and for them to be consumer friendly like that and give everybody and give so many people the opportunity to get their hands on games and to play and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I know for me, you know, gaming is something very important to me that I'll always enjoy my entire life, you know. So for other people to have that opportunity to be able to experience that, dude, like I absolutely love it. I'm all for it.
Yeah. I mean, even though like I said, like that, I mean, this isn't like the old days with, you know, Sega versus Super Nintendo. I mean, the
Right.
console wars is nowhere near as what it once was. And I just, now I'm more to a point where like saying, hey, you want both of them to succeed because as a consumer, you're going to get the best out of each of those that competition, because they're fighting with one another to gain your interest on their consoles. So you don't want one to fail. You could be Team Sony. We're Team Sony, but at the same time, it's like we're not saying that Microsoft system sucks. So I just think that I think if they're doing the right moves, like when they bought, like last week when they bought out Bethesda, giant company, I would think that, but I don't think it's something that Sony should be sweating on for the most part. But this is something that they will, if this is something that will allow them to leverage to become a better system or better convenient system for exclusives, so be it. I guess, you know, let bring it on and see what opens up on the creativities on all sides, you know. So like if this is going to be allowing to get as many people hands on this system, then, you know, more power to them. They really need this comparatively to what Sony does for the most part, you know. So no, but like it's very, like I love that they're trying to make waves. They're trying to find something different and trying to find ways to you know, try to improve on what we normally are used to, you know. So that's always good. So all right, Pop, before we go, would you like to advertise anything? Like to just promote your brand, your channel, what have you? Anything?
I'll be live tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern time with some more Watch Dogs too. Close to the end of the game, so I might go back to doing some more Crash Bandicoot 4. So if you want to see some crazy platforming, I'll be doing.
How are you liking Crash Bandicoot 4?
Just like all the other Crash games, it has the same rhythm to it. I don't know how I feel about the ability system. There are like two that I like, two that I kind of dislike, but overall, it's well done.
Oh, okay. Well, but it's funny when you say it's like all the other Crash games. The last Crash game was PlayStation 1, Crash 3.
Oh, wow.
When you think about it, it's been that's how long it's been to play this kind of game, this platforming game. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like I don't know what it was with Naughty Dog. I guess when Naughty Dog decided to do that pivot with Uncharted, they decided to say we're going to go all serious, you know. But yeah, I've been meaning to wanting to play that, but at the same time, the thing that turns me off is like I played the old school Crash Bandicoot games, and I got annoyed by some of those camera effects of, like, you know, because when you had to jump away, you're jumping like in the front of the screen and stuff. I had a hard time jumping on those distances. It's like I was like, I don't know if I want to deal with this again. But yeah, so that's cool. Well, thank you so much for stopping by and being a guest on our show. We really do appreciate it.
Absolutely.
As always. Definitely check out PopNoTarts. Yeah, I hope you had some fun, the fun with us too. So that's really awesome. Smitty, what are your plans for the week?
Yeah, man. I will be back live on Thursday. I think I'll probably get back into Home Sweet Home. We'll try to hopefully finish that game off, and I'm sure there'll be another special guest that joins us here on Friday. Thank you for the love, Christine.
Home Sweet Home. Wait, special guest on what?
Yeah, I'm still playing. I've been like, again, I started that last October, and I finally made some headway here a couple weeks ago. So I'd like to get back and hopefully finish that game off and then move to something else. But other than that, just probably chilling, getting some Destiny 2 and preparing for that new season and whatnot, and keep it chill, man. So what do you got going on, brother?
Man, okay, I've been on this grind. It's kind of weird. We're like, when you're in the beginning of in the fall, there's not a lot of games per se. I guess November is where the cutoff is when games come out, where the games are basically coming out for the end of the year. So I'm in this weird limbo of just playing what I wanted to play, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm just playing some Yakuza 0 right now. Been messing around with that. So I'm going to do that Monday through Wednesday as always. And maybe I'm debating. I really want to play some more Genshin Impact. I just haven't had time to play it as much as I did the first week. But maybe do that one of the days. Try to go back to Animal Crossing on Thursday. And on this Friday, because like I was going to do it yesterday with you. I know we were going to play some Phasmophobia, but I was not feeling too hot yesterday. So I decided to go and just rest up, but I would do probably Phasmophobia with friends next week on Friday. So yeah, that's basically the rough plan of what I'm trying to do. So but that's good. So guys, thank you for watching so much of the CFG Gamecast episode number 68. We appreciate everything that you bring to the table. We are going to be back again next week. Lex is going to come back probably fiercer than ever, coming back next weekend. You can always check us out on any of our podcast, on any podcast service for any of the shows, like on Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Podbean, any of them out there. We actually got another confirmation, so we are now on Amazon Music now too, so that's pretty awesome. Nice. Yeah, so we will be back again. Well, I already said that again. Or you can go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, where you can go check out all the video game reviews, convention photos, all the stuff that we go to, and stuff in one website. So definitely check out the awesome content over there. And one more announcement. On November 7th, we are going to be doing our extra life stream. So we go and do we give out back to charity for the Phoenix running for the Phoenix Children's Hospital. Smitty's going to do it for his Las Vegas hospital. So we're going to be doing a multi-stream, a different way of what we normally do, but it's going to be very fun. So definitely check us out on November 7th on CFG Games and on Smitty 2447 for some awesome cool stuff. So definitely be a part of that. Well, this is Davis, Pop, and Smitty signing off. Y'all take it easy.